Long before European ships sailed to these shores, a rich tapestry of cultures thrived in North America. For thousands of years, Native American tribes flourished across the land. They developed diverse languages, traditions, and ways of life. From the Pueblo people of the Southwest to the Iroquois Confederacy of the Northeast, these societies left an indelible mark on the continent. Their story is an essential part of understanding America's past. The 15th century marked a turning point. European explorers, driven by curiosity and the quest for new opportunities, set sail across the Atlantic. In 1492, Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer sailing for Spain, reached the Americas. This encounter opened the door to an era of exploration and colonization. Europeans, primarily from England, France, and Spain, established settlements in the New World. Jamestown, founded in 1607, became the first permanent English settlement in North America. Plymouth, established in 1620 by the Pilgrims seeking religious freedom, followed soon after. As decades passed, tensions grew between the American colonists and Great Britain. The colonists yearned for greater autonomy and chafed under British rule. In 1776, fueled by the ideals of liberty and self-government, the colonists took a bold step. They declared their independence from Great Britain, issuing the Declaration of Independence. This pivotal document proclaimed that all men are created equal and endowed with certain unalienable rights. The American Revolution ensued, a hard-fought struggle for freedom that tested the resolve of the young nation. With victory secured in 1783, the newly independent states faced the daunting task of forming a new government. The result was the United States Constitution, a groundbreaking document that established a system of government based on the principles of democracy, representation, and the separation of powers. To ensure the protection of individual liberties, the Bill of Rights, comprising the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, was adopted in 1791. This landmark document guaranteed fundamental rights such as freedom of speech, religion, the press, and the right to bear arms. Section 5, Westward Expansion, Manifest Destiny and Growing Pains. Driven by a belief in manifest destiny, the idea that the United States was destined to expand across the North American continent, settlers pushed westward throughout the 19th century. The acquisition of new territories through purchase, treaty, and war fueled the nation's growth but also led to conflicts with Native American tribes. The forced removal of Native Americans from their ancestral lands remains a dark chapter in American history. As the nation expanded, the issue of slavery, deeply entrenched in the South's economy, became increasingly divisive. The debate over slavery would ultimately push the nation toward civil war. Section 6, A Nation Divided, the Civil War and Reconstruction. In 1861, the United States was torn apart by the Civil War. 11 Southern states, determined to preserve the institution of slavery, seceded from the Union. The war that followed was a brutal and bloody conflict that tested the nation's soul. Led by President Abraham Lincoln, the Union ultimately triumphed in 1865. The Civil War resulted in the abolition of slavery and the preservation of the Union. The period of Reconstruction that followed aimed to rebuild the South and integrate formerly enslaved people into society. However, Reconstruction faced significant challenges, including racial prejudice and resistance to social change. Section 7, A Rising Power America in the 20th Century. The 20th century witnessed America's emergence as a global power. The United States played a pivotal role in both World War I and World War II, helping to defeat tyranny and shape the post-war world order. The nation faced economic hardship during the Great Depression, but emerged from the crisis with renewed determination. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs provided relief and fostered economic recovery. Section 8, The Cold War, a Battle of Ideologies. Following World War II, the United States entered a period of geopolitical tension known as the Cold War. This ideological struggle pitted the United States and its allies against the Soviet Union and its communist bloc. The Cold War was a time of intense rivalry, marked by a nuclear arms race, proxy conflicts, and the constant threat of escalation. Despite the tensions, This era also witnessed significant advancements in science and technology, including the space race that culminated in the United States landing astronauts on the Moon in 1969. Section 9. A Nation of Progress. The Civil Rights Movement and Beyond. The Cold War era also coincided with a period of profound social change within the United States. The Civil Rights Movement, led by courageous activists like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks, challenged racial segregation and discrimination. Through peaceful protests, boycotts, and legal challenges, the movement achieved significant victories, including the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These landmark laws outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, marking a major step forward in the pursuit of equality. Section 10. Challenges and Triumphs America in the 21st Century. As the 20th century gave way to the 21st, the United States continued to face a complex and ever-changing world. The tragic events of September 11, 2001 ushered in an era defined by the fight against terrorism and the challenges of globalization. Despite these challenges, America has remained a beacon of hope and opportunity for people around the world. The nation continues to grapple with issues such as economic inequality, climate change, and political polarization, but the spirit of innovation, resilience, and the pursuit of a more perfect union endure. Section 11. An Enduring Legacy, America's Story Continues. The story of America is an epic journey, marked by both triumphs and tragedies. From its humble beginnings as a collection of colonies to its rise as a global superpower, the United States has played a unique and often defining role on the world stage. While the nation's past is not without its flaws, the enduring legacy of America lies in its founding ideals of liberty, equality, and opportunity for all. As the nation looks to the future, the pursuit of these ideals continues to guide its path. The story of America is still being written, and its future remains full of promise.